Hello, everybody, and welcome to Adelaide for the virtual Carrera Cup. I am Keith Barrick here, joined by Robert Wiesemuller, to call all the action here today for this exciting round. We are going to be getting into qualifying here very, very shortly. Rob, how are you today?
Hello, Keith. Hello, everyone. Yeah, I'm feeling great. It's one of the events that I've been looking forward to a lot. First real street circuit on the calendar of the Virtual Carrera Cup, and that's going to be pretty exciting.
Yes, Adelaide definitely provides a lot of excitement. Over the years at Touring Pro Series, we've seen a number of incidents here, and myself included. Definitely, I've been caught in the turn 1-2 complex while leading a championship. So you don't ever want to see that happen to anybody, but it does. When you got walls surrounding you, there is always the chance for heartache. But we are going to be getting into action right away here. We're starting qualifying. It's open qualifying here at Adelaide, so everyone is streaming out onto the track with a great shot here of the pits. The open qualifying will allow everybody to just nail lap after lap after lap. I was a little bit used to the Super Pole from the virtual Super Tours, where yourself, Robert, you had a great run just in the Wednesday that passed. But we'll be doing 22 laps here for each of these races. And after race 1, we will be reversing the order between, it is 6 and 10 drivers, Robert?
Yeah, I think it's 6 and 10, so that usually gives a great chance for the people who maybe didn't have the best race in the first race to take a win. This time out we saw Ross McGregor taking his and THR's first win in this championship from the reverse grid race, so it usually provides a lot of excitement.
Absolutely, and Ross McGregor is one that I always call kind of a silent assassin, and just because he just shows up and he just takes a race win, which he clearly did in the last event here in the Virtual Carrera Cup. But we're going to hop on board with Bristol Capet. He's the fastest driver from practice, and also set the fastest lap in non-official practice. But you can really get a feel for what this track is like as we hop on board the front of Bristol Capet. We come through turn 3, up into 4. This is a heavy braking zone, but it's this track. I don't know how you feel about it, Robert, but it's always a little deceiving, I find. Like, you seem to run out of room, and I think obviously because we were surrounded by walls, but when you've raced here, what have you thought about it?
It's a very dangerous track. It's very hard to find the limit when you're driving, because you can go over these curves, and especially in the first sector, you've got these curves on the exit of the corners, and you go fast, you can actually go over them. It's actually legal to go over them just with 2 wheels on the little bit of curving on the outside.
Yes.
So that unsettles the car very much. And especially in these Porsches, you have limited setup options. You can set up the car in some ways, but you can't really set up your car in a way that it likes driving over curves and bumps. So this track is really difficult for the drivers.
Well, and I guess it's going to come down to, we saw in practice, I know we were on board with Tim Heineman, and there's one corner, I'll show, point at the corner in particular here at Adelaide that is just a nail-biting experience as Bristol Capet starts his first flying lap, as you see him pop up over the curb. But I'll call this as he goes. So you go fast left-hander, you're going to swing it wide, very wide on entry here because the track widens out, but then it narrows as you exit. You can see the differences in width. Now you're into a fairly fast left-hander that, again, like you said, curbs can upset the car, but find time with it. As you can just see, Bristol Capet is just on the ragged edge here on this lap, so up over the curb, just using just enough there. But this is an extremely fast part of the track here. Bristol Capet now dropping down in the order, but looking to set his fast lap. This is the corner here. It is the kind of thing that, well, I mean, you got to make sure your shorts are clean after if you really push through there. As you can see, the wall gets very close at those kinds of speeds. What kind of speeds are they carrying through there, Robert?
I'm not entirely sure what kind of speeds they are carrying here, so we unfortunately can't see it at the moment on the plugin. But what I know is that they should be driving this car in 5th gear. So it's not flat out. It's not possible in these cars to drive completely flat out. You have to either lift off or brake a little bit to get through the corner.
Yes. As you see, Bristol Capet with an 18.962. So a good lap, but not the pace that we've already seen from couple guys, but you can see he's now staying out on track. We're going to stay with him because this is the fastest man from unofficial practice and from official practice. He was down into the 1:18.5s. So, but now we might be able to, with this view that we've got here, we might be able to catch the speed that he's carrying entering that corner. I know when he turns right, we will lose it, but it'll just give you some idea of what kind of speed they're carrying through that fast right-hander. So up in the fifth gear, 220, or 250 it looks like. I can't see, my eyes are on.
219, I think. It looks like 219 to me.
Yes. Oh, you're correct. Yes, 219. So it's a hairy spot. But Risto Capet going to be finishing his lap here. We'll see where he slots in. Again, and we're following with Risto because he has set the fastest lap in practice and in unofficial. So we're going to see where he sets the pace here. So Risto Capet through the final corner. He's currently at a 1:18.9. How much further is he going to go? How much faster is he going to go with this time? 1:18.665. So the pace has been set. A 1:18.6 from Risto Capet. Fabio Assunção is in third currently. Adrian Holm moves up into the fourth position. Got Heasterbeek in fifth currently. Kevin Siggy, who took a race win in the last round, is sitting in sixth position.
Where's Tim Heinemann at the moment? We haven't seen him at all. Oh, Siggy goes into second.
Nice, Siggy to second. Just going to adjust my microphone here just slightly, and see if I can get a little bit more out of the mic I've got. So,
what we usually see in these qualifying sessions is that because the tire compounds are so hard, the fastest laps are set the session. And I think we're seeing it now. Kevin Siggy is currently purple. Heasterbeek just moved up into third position, the teammate of Capet. I still haven't seen Heinemann, but now Assunção is also purple.
Yep, so we've got two guys going on fast laps. So Siggy, how far down is Assunção is going to follow with? So we'll stay on board with Siggy here. Oh, as you see in the background, that is that corner, as we saw a car just exploding into the wall, as he's now 7 thousandths of a second off of Risto Capet, coming through the final corners of this track. This is a tricky corner right there with, you got the wall
Heinemann
tightens
in
up.
third.
There we go, Heinemann. Okay, so Heinemann's got his banker lap at a 1:19 flat. Siggy coming through the final two corners here. Siggy sitting in second, looking to take it out. No, he runs wide.
The apex.
He missed it completely. Well, you know what it's like. I mean, I can talk about my former racing. You are a current racer and winning races, Robert. How much pressure is there with the level of competition in a series like, Virtual Super Tours in qualifying? How much are you putting onto yourself as Assunção goes to second?
Well, it's an immense pressure, especially in these qualifying sessions, because especially here on this track, when the tire compounds are so hard, you need to get a few laps in, get your tires really warmed up before you can set the real fast time. So that means you can't make a mistake in the early laps, because then you have to go back to the pits and try again.
Yes.
But at the same time, you want to set a good banker lap in, so you can't drive too slow either in the beginning. And then you have to nail your time and get the time, and there's so many different things you have to think about, and so it's a lot of pressure. But at the moment we see that most of the favorites are actually at the front of the field. Heinemann only in fifth at the moment, so
yes.
I'm sure he wants to go a little bit quicker.
Yeah, he's not going to improve on this lap. He was 0.6 off of his banker lap, and to be honest, like, maybe he is working to get these tires warmed up, but at this point, yeah, I know, a little upsetting of the car there. But see, now this is a do or die. So if he gets into the wall here, that's it for, well, he might get he would get one more lap in. So if he comes in, we're just going to see here. So I'm just going to be back in just a second.
Yeah, we're following Heinemann now on his lap. And he's only a little bit down on Capet. Capet has had a really fast time. It's not the fastest time of the session so far. Not the fastest time of the whole practice so far, because he's at the 18.2 pre-event. But that's already a pretty difficult time to beat. The problem for Heinemann is if he stays in 5th position in qualifying, he will have a lot of trouble in the race, because it's very hard to overtake on this track. But he seems to be on a very, very good lap. Lars Brückmann, meanwhile, moves up to 8th position. We're staying on board with Heinemann here. That's a nice exit of the corner. Could move up into second position if he finishes the lap like this. Now into the final corner, hard braking zone here. Oh, the car gets a little bit sideways, but it seemed to be decent. I think that will be the second position for Heinemann. Yes, Heinemann moves up into second place on the 1:18.6. So he's got 1 minute left, so one final attempt to beat the time of Risto Kappet. And there you can see how much he's pushing. Just going extremely hard over the curb. Let's see, what can Heinemann do? What can anyone else do? There's no one purple at the moment. So we've got Kappet at the moment leading the session, followed by Heinemann, Assunção in third, Siggy fourth, Kiesebeek fifth. Now McGregor moved up to sixth position, followed by Hack, his teammate, and Brookman, Holman ninth, and Voite in 10th position. But no one seems to be really able to challenge the time from Risto Kappet. Fantastic time. I see Heinemann going a little bit sideways to the very fast corner here. He's 2/10 down. I don't think it will be enough to improve, and he is also missing the apex just a little bit. So, final sector for Heinemann. Klaus Neiring, meanwhile, moves up to 14th position. Heinemann through the final corner. Can he improve? He needs the perfect final sector to improve. But it's not enough, it's 18.9, so he stays in second position, so the time's now up. And it looks like Kappet will be on pole position as we see Heinemann jumping over the tire barriers here. Unfortunately, I cannot change the camera to another car at the moment. So we just have to focus on the timing to see if anyone can improve. Here we see Heinemann's car in the pit lane, next to Fabio Assunção's car. The time is up, so it looks like Risto Kappet might take the pole position. Risto Kappet, of course, is the current championship leader in the series. Tim Heinemann had quite a bad event last time out at Simmons Plains. He had some technical issues in the first race that prevented a likely win, and then couldn't improve at all. In the second race was in quite a few incidents, so he's lost the championship lead, actually dropped down to third place, as Ross McGregor has also jumped in the championship standings. But it seems like he will line up in second place on the grid this time. Yep, and we're moving on to warm-up session, so here we have the qualifying results. On pole position, Risto Kappet, the championship leader for walk racing. At the 1 minute 18.4, so he did improve his time actually. Great lap from Risto Kappet. Second place for the reigning champion Tim Heinemann for Spade Racing. Then we've got in third place Fabio Assunção, the Go Speed Racing driver who took his first podium last time out at Simmons Plains. He's been improved throughout the whole season. Great performance from him. Followed by him in fourth place, it's Kevin Siggy, the Enterprise GP driver, who took his first win last time out at Simmons Plains. Then in fifth place, Ruud Hiesterbeek, the teammate of Risto Kappet for walk racing, followed by Ross McGregor for THR Orange, who's sitting in sixth place. Then in seventh, we've got Chris Hack, who's also driving for THR. In eighth place, Lars Brookman, the Ice Cold Racing driver, who took his first podium position in his TPS career back in round 2 at Sandown. Then we've got in ninth place, the reigning champion from the Virtual Touring Masters, Adrian Holm for THR, and rounding out the top 10, it's Florian Voite. Let's see if we can scroll down further in the standings, but unfortunately it doesn't look like we can do that at the moment. So we will try to use the time and go on a commercial break.
InsideSimRacing.tv, the fastest show on the internet. Sim racing news and reviews since 2007, with new shows every week.
GamePod, the ultimate race rig for those serious about sim racing. Puts you in the driver's seat with all the controls at your fingertips. Be number one on the road, in the race, in the game. GamePod, the choice of champions.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Adelaide. We are live for the virtual Carrera Cup. I apologize for disappearing there. Robert took over there, and we were stuck on Tim Heineman, and that was my fault. We missed Risto Capet taking the pole position by a decent margin, as we can see. I am commentating from work, and I had a customer come and knock on the door. So I have a do not disturb sign now. We're gonna just we'll be into this for the rest of this race here, but we'll get into the championship standings because things are fairly tight at the top here as we pop on board with these. But Risto Capet with a 20-point lead, but everything kind of tightens up. So Robert, just give us a rundown here of the championship standings. Yeah,
Risto Capet, as I already mentioned, he's taken the lead of the championship after a very great performance from him at the last round at Simmons Plains. Ross McGregor moved up to second, and Tim Heineman actually dropped down to third place on 129 points. In fourth place, we've got Chris Hack for THR, followed by Ruud Heasterbeek for Walk Racing. Kevin Siggy is in sixth place, and he will surely be looking to improve on that position. Adrian Holmes in seventh, followed by Lars Brugman, and then tied on ninth place is Janko Glavak and Oscar Hartwig, but they're both missing this race.
Okay. So I can see Chris Hack actually doing very well. I haven't seen Chris Hack do so well in quite a while, so it's nice to see him up there in this championship fight. But the Capet fan club is obviously out. McGregor is always outside. He's always there, in my opinion. In every championship he runs, you always see him close and getting results. And it's nice to see him performing consistently as he always does here. So I know Robert has gone through the top 10, so we will get to the rest of where everyone has lined up in qualifying as we pop back into the game. So as we roll through, 11th place is Eunice Rauvio, 12th place is Pipo Rodriguez, 13th is Cameron Brewster, 14th Klaus Nyring, 15th is Thomas Jacobs, 16th Rob Taplin, 17th Matt Richards, 18th Miguel Cardozo, 19th is Thomas Hins, I'm going to go with, it's from what I can see. 20, we do not know who's in 20th, unfortunately. Boyd Bryce in 21st. Davey Vendeveen is in 22nd. David Yunt in 23rd. Scott Sovic is in 24th. Pedro Amaral is 25th. Philip Antonio, 26th. 27th is Luka Oslakovic,
I think.
Oslakovic, okay. Oslakovic. Lee Palmer's 28th. And Luka Peklaj is the final running car in 29th. So for those racing today that I have not commentated on or ever said your name, I will give an apology now. I am infamous for mispronouncing names, and I am sorry, but I'm not. It's just it's me. That's the way it comes out, and I'm just giving you a heads up for watching the broadcast. So, Robert, what did you take from that qualifying with the now that it's all finished up?
Well, Risto Capet improved his time towards the end of the session, so to me it looks like he might be just a little bit quicker than his opponents. But Heineman, of course, is there. He's very close, and people have been saying that the second position in qualifying might actually be better for the start, because you have a better line into the first corner. So now, Heineman had made better starts in Capet all the way through the season anyway. So now that he's on a better line, he might actually jump him at the start.
Now let me get maybe I'm getting what you're putting down here. Are you possibly saying that Tim Heineman kind of throttled back a bit? Because we've seen some fast times from Heineman. Do you think that's a possibility?
No, I don't think so.
Oh no,
I think
he was all out.
I think you want to, when you're in such a race. I mean, it's nice to finish qualifying in second, but you also want that pole position. Yeah. I think it's you could do that, but it's also very it's very difficult to get it right if you slow down or so. You might slow down too much, and then you're in the second row, and your whole plan doesn't work. So absolutely, I would assume no one's really taking that risk. Yeah,
of course. Well, I mean, Tim Heineman's fastest lap over the course of leading up to the event was only a 1:18.461. So his absolute fastest lap would not have put him ahead of Risto. Risto's fastest lap was a 1:18.327, which is a touch faster, but clearly Risto was able to get the most out of the car in that 10-minute session. So we now have warm-up completing here. There is a warm-up lap, Robert?
Yes, there's one formation lap.
Yes.
And then we go into the race after a standing start.
A lovely. Well, we will be right back in just a moment for the formation lap, and we'll do some predictions here. And those are always fun, so we'll be right back.
InsideSimRacing.tv, the fastest show on the internet. Sim racing news and reviews since 2007, with new shows every week.
GamePod, the ultimate race rig for those serious about sim racing. Puts you in the driver's seat with all the controls at your fingertips. Be number one on the road, in the race, in the game. GamePod, the choice of...
Here we go. Hello everybody, we are back live from Adelaide for the virtual Carrera Cup. The cars are now on their formation lap as we are running around this absolutely stunning track from Adelaide in Australia. That's a fantastic shot right there, Robert, as we look down. But one thing we were just kind of talking about in that small break we just had there was the temperature. It is hot. The actual temperature in Adelaide at the moment. I'll actually get the forecast up. You can go to our forums, touringproseries.com/forums, and you can see where the temperature stats. But we're at 26 degrees air temperature, and the track is at 35 degrees. So Robert was just speculating about the tires and what we can expect.
Yeah, I think in these cars they're not really famous for their high tire wear. So I think these high track temperatures might actually help the drivers because they get their tires quicker up to temperature. And so we might be able to see very fast times from the beginning.
Well, that's something we will find out fairly quickly here as they're now coming through that final corner for the last time before this race will start. We're 21 laps for this race as you see these guys getting their tires heated up, and a lot of professionalism. These guys have really taken this series very seriously. Capet, Heinemann, Asensao, Siggy, Heasterbeek. You know, it's going to be great. But so what's your prediction?
I think Heinemann will win the start, Capet will win the race.
Okay. I like
You
that.
can see it, by the way, that Heinemann is starting directly alongside Capet, and he's got the inside line for the first corner, so I'm not sure if that's really a second position.
Well, we are going to hop on board with Capet, looking forward, waiting to see some lights. This is going to be the start of the first race here from Adelaide as the red lights are on. We're waiting to see the green, and away they go. Green, green, green. Risto Capet losing out to Tim Heinemann down into turn one. Heinemann taking full advantage of the inside line, but again, as they head through turn one, very tricky, especially when all the cars are lined up and very, very close like that. So don't see anyone dropping fast through the order at the moment. So means that everyone seems to have made it through fairly well. So Tim Heinemann taking advantage of that start position with Capet slotting into second and Asensao third, Siggy fourth, McGregor fifth, Heasterbeek in sixth, and Holm in seventh. So a very, very clean start here for the first race here at Adelaide.
I think we lost Florian Voitel, but otherwise it was a pretty clean start. In this first corner it's really difficult, so I think most of them did a great job to come through.
Oh, absolutely, and it's
look at Heinemann, look at how he's already pulling off a gap there. It's incredible.
Just, you know, taking advantage of maybe perhaps those warm tires. He's warmed them up and he's got a nice healthy gap so far, as we're just waiting to see once they get across the line, we'll see what the gaps are going to be. Oh, sideways is Asen Sao coming through there on well, what we call cold tires, but man, what a little drift that was.
Yeah, Asen Sao pushing hard, and he has to defend from Kevin Siggy now.
Yeah, early on here, I think we've got 21 laps for this race, so we're going to be just under half an hour roughly for this race. So it's not a long race, but it's also not a short race. So time is kind of the essence, as Asen Sao, as you said, is defending from Siggy as he closes up on the braking, heading into that corner there. But we'll just, as they're battling through, we'll just see it where the other people have slotted through after one full lap here at Adelaide. People Rodriguez in 8th position, Lars Brugman in 9th, followed by Cameron Brewster, Thomas Jacobs, Klaus Nyring in 12th, Kaplan and Sovic in 13th and 14th. So it's really kind of slotted out. But as you see, what a drift from Heinemann. Wow.
He's certainly pushing. He's pushing very hard.
No kidding. I mean, we're on lap 2, but that was a very controlled drift. Actually reminded me of Shane Van Gisbergen from the V8 Supercar race. I think it was 2 years ago at Adelaide, where he was in a full drift the entire way through that corner. Looked very, very similar, as he's just... now, actually, this is the first time I've actually had the pleasure of commentating here and actually watching Tim Heinemann race live, and he's very, very quick. I mean, he's down to 119.2 with full fuel, and and fairly cool tires.
Look how hard he's pushing. He's just going right up to the edge of the anti-cuts there in this chicane. So he's wasting no time.
He is just a man possessed right now. He is looking to open this gap as far as he can, as Florian is just pitted. So clearly something happened.
I heard from Mike Bell, from the team manager of Florian Voigt, that he was in an incident with Jonas Raivio at the beginning of the race.
All right. Well, this is Heinemann just on. I have to point out how on the edge Heinemann is at the moment. That like from my racing here at this track, to be that close to the edge is just you're fighting. You're really playing with fire, because one misstep, one little too deep, and when you're this close to the edge, there's no forgiveness with a mistake here. There's none. There's about 4 places here that could end your race with one little drop. So Heinemann putting everything out there as he goes to a 119 flat with full fuel. He is not leaving anything on the table. He is just flying.
Meanwhile, we seem to have lost Chris Hack as well from the top 16.
Okay.
Drop back, and there's Siggy in the background. Siggy alongside Asen Sao for 3rd place.
Okay, let's get back. Oh, look at that.
Siggy.
Side by side. Oh, great stuff there to keep it together. Let's take that on a position. Yes, Siggy up to 3rd. So let's pop that back and let's see if we can see where the move comes from. So looking back, Siggy. Oh, what a move! What a move! What, just perfectly timed. But Asen Sao, not. I don't. Oh, look, great job by Siggy to give him
Siggy also gives him room. Yeah,
that's absolute class racing right there. But Asen Sao, I think could have defended a little harder, but there's certain times where it's not worth it to hinder your progress so early in the race, because you're going to get swallowed up by the other drivers around. So class racing from both those guys. But now McGregor is all over the back of Asen Sao as Siggy is pulling away from him. But again, Rob, what a move, by Siggy.
Yeah, well, Siggy, he's been criticized a little bit by me in the past broadcast, because I thought he was making too many mistakes. But he's got his first race win last time out. Then in the last race, actually in the second race at Simmons Plains, he didn't make a mistake. But had a technical issue that prevented him from finishing 2nd.
Okay.
And now he seems to be really willing to build on his form, as he's now on the podium once again.
That's good. Oh, what is that? Is that Ross McGregor making a small error? I saw him drop off the back of Fabio Asen Sao. Sorry to cut you off there. He's now under heavy attack. I'm gonna pop back and just see what happened, and we'll get back to that live, because he was fairly close. Yes, he got sideways through one.
Oh, well
what a save! What a save by Ross McGregor. That is not an easy place to save that car. I've wrecked a championship in one fell swoop in that exact spot. So Ross McGregor doing a hell of a job to hang on to that car. But you know, these kinds of things, when something happens like that, Rob, where you get into that slide and you've now lost a guy you're on, how does it affect you mentally?
Well, maybe it depends on the driver, of course. Maybe you're scared for the rest of the race because you're so close to losing it. Yeah. But when something like this happens to me, usually it's like a wake-up call, and then I stay more concentrated for the rest of the race.
That's what you need. That's the kind of stuff that really that gets you your race wins.
Oh, fastest lap, Siggy.
Ooh, okay. So Siggy to the fastest lap. He's now closing.
Oh, look how hard he's pushing through that. Wow, it's crazy.
I have to say I've commentated on a fair amount of sim racing, and I've raced with a lot of guys, like Van Dorn and all that. And these three up front here are just on the ragged edge at a track that just it's so hard to do from the start to the finish. And we're 6 laps in.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but Rodriguez is dropping back. I might have missed a sector split only, but it seems like he's
so no. I just popped under the replay. We're not going to see the whole thing. However, indicators say, well, not indicators, I'm sorry, but the remainder of what we have shows that Pipo Rodriguez has wrecked the front clip of his car. I might be wrong, though. Let's see. He has. Pipo Rodriguez has taken the front clip off of his car early on in this race, in the 6th lap of this race. So, Pipo Rodriguez, is that gone, or am I losing my mind? That is gone.
Yeah, the front clip is gone, and also
he is missing the hood. He is missing the hood, and he is missing the front clip of his car. So that is going to definitely affect. He's going to have to pit. I mean, you can't go the rest of this race, can he?
I think he will try, because he's still in 10th position, and it doesn't seem like his car's going that slowly at the moment.
Yes, yeah.
So I think he will try.
Heinemann, a 19.8. So Heinemann dropped from if the gap is down to 2.1. Siggy is within 3 seconds of Heinemann. Has he pushed himself to a certain point, or the track temperature is 36 degrees?
He's got a bit of lap traffic here at the moment as well. That I think that's Miguel Cardoso. Yeah, it's getting all the way nicely.
Done from Miguel, very nicely done.
Keith, can you just bring up the standings for the people that were a little bit further back?
Yes, absolutely. We'll scroll through.
Because we should have a few DNFs already. There you can see Scott Solvik
is out. Who is that? Who else is there?
Oslakovic is out, Hack is out, Palmer, and Rivio. Rivio probably in that fashion.
Tim Heinemann goes deep! What? You said it best. He was pushing to the very edge, and he is losing time hand over fist right now. Rob, what do you think's going on?
Yeah, maybe he did push too hard, but it's a new situation. We haven't seen that before from Heinemann. Usually he's just, as the race goes on, he keeps his pace up. Yeah. So this is a new situation, and I'm kind of surprised by that. The Capet and Siggy are both quite close, and could make a very exciting second half of this race.
So we got Antonio into the pits. We've got Nyring into the pits as well. So Miguel Cardoso's got some company here from, this is going to be Risto Capet up on the back of him. So he did a great job letting Heinemann through. Is he going to do the same here? Okay, just gets down. He's going to need to get out of the way as well for Kevin Siggy here. He's got room, make some room.
I will let him through after the corner. Siggy loses a little bit of time because of that.
Yeah, so...
That's not ideal, but
not ideal,
I think that the time loss is not that significant either.
No, and it's a tough spot. As well, this track is hard, because it's such a transition left-right. It's very, very tough. So, now there is some speculation from the viewers that they fear it's an overheating problem for Tim Heinemann as opposed to Ware. Now, I'm not familiar with this model myself personally. What would that be a result of? Is there air ducts, or what's going on, Rob?
Well, we saw in the first season that sometimes some people blew up their cars at the start of the race because they were revving their engines too high when they were coming up to the grid.
Yes.
So overheating certainly seems to be an issue in these types of cars.
Okay.
But we haven't had a race with such a high temperature so far on the calendar.
Yeah, it's very, very warm here. But the gap has kind of opened up a little bit there. So Heinemann combats his poor 2 laps that he just had with a 19.0. So clearly he he had 2 laps of just a little slip-ups, and he's now got back into it. So we'll just keep an eye on that gap, but we're going to give some airtime to the guys back here because there is some tight racing happening a little further back. Home and Asensao are fairly close, but a little ways back, we've got a battle that looks fairly. It opened up through 1 and 2. Pipo Rodriguez with no clip, followed by Thomas Jacobs, but Rodriguez is definitely losing time with that front. So what would he be feeling right now, Rob, without the clip in this car?
It should be a little bit more understeery. That's what I assume, at least.
Yeah, I would
with
think
the
so.
front clip missing, so he certainly can't do the same times. But we've had quite a few drivers missing their front clips on their cars, like Heinemann, for example, in the last race, and he still could finish it on decent pace. So I think it's a bit of.
Look right there, there.
Yeah.
There's the understeer.
Jacobs.
Just what you said. Jacobs taking full advantage. So, like that is a prime example. As
Rodriguez
he
trying to hold on. That's a good move from Rodriguez.
Well done, people. That was fantastic. But you can clearly see at high speed. You're right. The understeer without the downforce in the front is a clear indicator right there, as we just saw him in that fast right-hander just going right up to the wall, but Thomas Jacobs not able to capitalize on the small mistake that.
Asensau's out. Asensau's out. I just saw it. He's now shown up in 16th place, still on the standings, because apparently many drivers had some problems.
Let's see.
Can we get a replay of this? Oh, where's that? Where's that?
He was close, so we will be able to get this replay.
Oh, he's already missing a wheel though.
Are we gonna see this? What? Oh. What? Well, how did he end up?
Probably clipped the wall before.
Oh,
yeah, he clipped the wall out of the fast corner.
Okay. I'm really sorry, guys, that we missed that. But the Asensao got into the wall. I think you know what? If it was the right side, he hit the inside of that fast corner. As Pipo Rodriguez has now got passed by Yunt, Taplin, Jacobs, all as a result of that front clip being on. So maybe it's affecting him more than we initially thought it would. Oh, Siggy! Wow! I don't know if we might get this because I got closer to him. Let's see if we'll see.
Heinemann.
18-8. Well done, Heinemann. So he gets under braking here. So what? What a drift! That could have easily ended. That could have ended. Yeah, that could have ended definitely. That could have ended differently there. You know what? If there was any safe spot on the track, Rob, I think that's it. Because if he's spun, there's nothing for him to hit there. You know.
Yes.
So the best of that is the fact that he would have been okay if he got around, but nonetheless, still right on the ragged edge. As he even with that little slide there, he's still very close to Capet, and I have a feeling that we will see him close in and potentially challenge for that second position here, as we're now past the halfway point here at Adelaide for the Virtual Carrera Cup.
I would just like to go a little bit further back, because we've got a battle between Bryson and Hinz for 14th place. They've just swapped positions.
Okay, so
Thomas Hinz has a great run. He's racing from Australia, so it should be in the middle of the night for him.
Oh, geez, yeah.
In a solid 15th position. Bryson in 14th and Ethan Buss in 13th. That's by far the best we've seen.
Just so you know, if he's from anywhere near Adelaide, it is currently 5 a.m. over there. So hats off to Thomas for being awake for this.
Yeah, he's doing a good job, well within the points. You see Luca Pekla, he's already quite a way down.
Yes.
I'm not sure if he's actually a lap down, or if it's just a timing.
No, it's just the timing because of the distance, and where they're lined up in regards to the. Well, we know Miguel Cardoso's down a lap. Whose clip is that? That's Pipo Rodriguez. He's.
That's someone off. That's Voiter, I think. Is it Voiter? It looks like Voiter. No. At least that car is completely destroyed. Could be Voiter. He's in 21st.
Yes, and I think he's just got some more damage. Boyd Bryson is missing his front hood currently. So I will just roll forward a little bit and see where Pipo Rodriguez without his clip is still there. David Yunt in 11th, Taplin in 10th. And it's not to be, there's a lot of DNFs here, and it's something to be expected when you're racing at a street circuit. It's very, very hard.
Oh, Siggy dropped a lot of time. Siggy's 8.5 seconds down.
Siggy, 8.5 seconds back, so he lost almost.
Let's have a look at his car. Is his car still intact? Looks good.
Let's have a look. Let's get on close. Let's get and have a swing around of Siggy's car. I don't see any damage, so maybe just got into a really bad slide and managed to keep it together. But Siggy, oh, look at this. Heinemann, 18.6. What a lap this late in the race. Tim Heinemann showing some dominance here, but Capet is 3.2. So he's not, Capet's pace is not far off of Heinemann. It's just Heinemann is in that zone again. We saw him start. We saw Capet slide there a bit, but Heinemann we saw get kind of peak for his pace, and then he made a couple mistakes, and then now he's in the zone again where he's pushing right to that edge. But you know, if the gap was opened more, like say there was 6 or 7 seconds to Capet, you might see him dial it back a little bit. But clearly he does not want to give up any time at all to Capet here, past the halfway mark here on the 13th lap.
You were just on board with Bruce Easterbeek and Adrian Holm. It seems to be fairly close for 5th position. Both had a very solid run so far.
Yes. Holm currently 0.7 of a second back of Easterbeek as he's got the slipstream, heading to heavy braking here. Easterbeek will now have a mirror of Adrian Holm's front clip. Such a tight spot here, and it's so blind too. You always worry, like especially in the early goings of a race here at Adelaide, coming through that corner they just went through, because of the high walls. If you're further back in the field and someone gets into that outside wall, the track just shuts down. There's nowhere to go, and you come around that corner at full speed, and you just get jammed right up. But Heinemann did a 1:19.0 with that last lap by, which allowed Capet to keep the same gap, and so he didn't open up. So he went to an 18.6 to a 19.0. Was Tim Heinemann.
Meanwhile, we've got a close battle for 10th place between Taplin and Yun. There it is. Yun right behind Taplin.
Yes. So Taplin in 10th currently with David Yunt on his 6th, coming through from 1 and 2 through 3. David Yunt going to look to get into the slipstream and try to find a way by at this extremely difficult track to pass. It's like this track is difficult in so many ways. Pass, to push, to anything, to defend. It's just probably one of the most difficult tracks to race at in the world, just because of that inherent danger in anything you're trying to do out there.
Yeah, I think also that Taplin and Yun, they're both rather patient drivers.
Yes.
So I think Yun will only go for a move if Taplin makes a mistake here.
Yes.
He won't try anything ridiculous. It's also the best racing position for both of these guys in the season. So
that's yeah. They won't want to jeopardize that here, but they still do have a fair amount of laps to go, as Taplin seems to have taken a little bit of a defensive side. It kind of, running a little bit on the middle of the track, as Yunt's got a bit of a run, but you're right, Yunt is very patient, he will make for that. But Taplin is perhaps just being erring on the caution side a little bit, as you see a little damage on the front of Yunt's car. It looks like the nose is beat in slightly. Not sure where that would have happened. As Tim Heinemann does a 1:18.8 and continues to open that gap just ever so slightly over Risto Capet in second.
I'm really impressed by Pipo Rodriguez that he's still in 12th place with this damaged car.
Yeah, no kidding. He's like Ethan Bass is in 13th. Now, there have been a fair amount of DNFs. I think if there was a number of cars still running, he'd be under a little bit more attack with the pace that he has to run with that front flip being gone. But still, like, just even keep the car together. I mean, it's amazing. It's a fantastic drive with maybe only 70% of his car left.
Yeah, he is losing time, but he's not losing significant amounts of time, and he seems to be still fairly close to the Yunt and Taplin battle.
Yeah, so these guys have gapped a little bit. I mean, Taplin's still just keeping that gap over Yunt. Brewster's having a great run in 8th position for Cameron
once again, last time at Simmons Plains, he was, I think he finished 4th in the second race even. That was his best finish in TPS by far, and he seems to, keep his pace.
And this is Lars Brugman having a fantastic run as well in 7th. Holm running in 6th. Easterbeek in 5th. He's now pulled slightly away from the back of Holm, but he has also, in the meantime, closed up a significant amount on Ross McGregor. He's now only 2.5 seconds back from McGregor. Siggy has closed a little bit on Capet, because I think Capet made a small error. It's down to 4.2 seconds. Maybe we'll ride with Capet here and see. Clearly both him and Heinemann are just pushing right to the edges, but Heinemann is able to just squeeze a little bit more out of the car here at the 16th lap of this first race.
I could imagine that Kappert is now on. He's now playing it safe because
Yes.
the gap is relatively big for Heinemann. It's the same gap to Siggy.
Yes.
So if he doesn't make a mistake, he will just finish in that second place.
Absolutely, yes. And now the other thing is with the reverse grid, obviously, he will have track position over Heinemann, and as we've already seen here, Rob, like it's not easy. It's not easy to pass, and doesn't matter what your pace is. It's basically, you know, we saw the pass by Siggy on Asensao. Was it Asensao? Before he went out?
Yes.
Yes, that move was well timed and a lot of room was given. But really, I mean, we have not seen a lot of passing, and I love, you know me, I love book it moments. I do. I love them. But here it's very difficult.
Jun dropped back. I'm sorry to interrupt you. Jun dropped back to 12th place behind Rodriguez.
Oh, he's dropping further.
Oh!
Yunt. Oh, David Yunt is out of the race. Oh, not out. He's still in it. Are we going to see this? Oh! David Yunt. This is the corner I was just talking about. How he clips the curb. He's just understeering like mad.
Yeah, just went a little bit too fast throughout the corner. I think clipped the curb and
let's pull this back a little bit. I want to pop on and look from this side here. Let's pop. I just want to see this from this angle, or what angle here? Where are we at? Sorry about this, guys. I'm just curious to see if the curb played. No, he didn't. He turned in. Did he turn in late?
I think maybe just was too hard on the throttle or too early.
Oh,
now he's in the pit lane. It's still going. He's trying to fix the damage, but this will cost him lots of points.
Very unfortunate.
And there we see Rodriguez.
Yeah, Rodriguez. Yeah, so that's fantastic. People possibly could take a top 10 finish here with a 70% remaining on his car. David Young now leaves the pits as Adrian Holmes drifting through turn 1. Heasterbeek 15th, dropped a little bit from the back of him. Heasterbeek though is closing a little bit. He's closed the gap a total of, oh no, he's lost. He lost a little bit, so he is not, or 2.2 is the gap now.
It seems certainly like all these people are rather happy with the position in which they are in. You don't see anyone going crazy at the moment.
Exactly. No, it doesn't look like. I mean, well, again, Heinemann is at a 19.1, and you know the Oh, jeez! I don't know where you need to be pushing that hard with a 5-second gap. That is asking to get a DNF, because how close was that? Let's go on board and see how close that was for Tim Heinemann. Oh,
that was quite close.
Let's hop in the car and see how it would have felt. Oh, I think he's gonna need a clean pair of shorts.
I think he's reacting a little bit to it, you know, just making a very minor wheel correction. But I mean, when you're setting these sort of fast times, it has to come from somewhere, and it's certainly coming from pushing very hard in Heinemann's case.
Absolutely, but that is a moment there that shows that, you know, he's comfortable on the edge. That is exactly what that is, of driving that hard this late in the race. He's comfortable there because he's not stopping. He's up against every curb. But that is the Heinemann way, it would seem. So Heinemann leads, Risto Capet in second, Siggy in third, McGregor fourth, Ruud Heasterbeek is in fifth, Adrian Holm is in sixth, Lars Brugman is in seventh, Cameron Brewster is in eighth, Thomas Jacobs is in ninth, Rob Taplin in 10th. Pipo Rodriguez, the story of this race, I have to say. I mean, I'm loving this. He's missing all sorts of parts on the front of the car here, and he's still hanging on, sitting in 11th place. Ethan Bass in 12th, Boyd Brunson in 13th. Thomas, no. Stop it. Stop it. Tim Heinemann, 18.567 after nearly crashing the lap prior into the wall. Clearly, and you know what? I have to point out another thing out. Risto Capet is only 5.2. He lost 0.2, so that means Risto Capet's last lap was an 18.7. These people are animals, Rob. Animals.
This is something that I don't understand from a driving point of view. Why you're pushing so hard when you're that far ahead already.
Hey, but you know what? We're not Tim Heinemann and we're not Risto Capet. They're pushing, man. They're doing it. Luca Pekledge in 15th, Miguel Cardoso in 16th, and the final running cars is David Yunt, Nyring, Florian Wolf is in the 19th. David Vendeveen is in 20th, and Pedro Amaral is in 21st. So we're on the penultimate lap, and Heinemann is just the fastest lap of the race at lap 20. Wow. He's coming through the final corner to start the last lap. I don't see any battles here that are going to change positions, but Heinemann starts this final lap, and I'm a little taken back. I haven't seen this kind of push in a driver in a race I've commentated on in a long time. Like, this is something else. It's amazing to watch.
He kind of did the same with Barbagallo in the first round of the season when he made a mistake, when he actually went off trying to pass Chris Hack, and then he responded by beating his qualifying time by half a second.
Well, and I you know what's funny is it's funny you mentioned that, because I watched that race. I was stuck in traffic and I had it on my phone, and I saw that, and I remember you guys
I'm sorry to
commentating.
interrupt you. Luca Pecla is out of the race.
Oh, that's
so close
heartbreaking.
to the end. He will probably still score points because he's done more than 75% of the race distance, but it's still disappointing when you're so close and then...
Oh, I know. People Rodriguez, though, like, is 11th. I'm just, you think that he's almost going to be top 10 with all of this. So, but yeah, I mean, there's not much else going to change here. We'll keep an eye on that timing. But Tim Heinemann just putting on a dominant performance here at Adelaide, and again, just nailing those times. He is going to be coming through the final corner here to take his race win for Spade Racing. A fantastic performance from Tim Heinemann. This is Tim Heinemann crossing the line to take the win here at Adelaide for the first race. Oh, I'm having a moment. We're not done.
Oh, we actually won that.
We're not done. Oh, I'm so sorry, everybody.
I missed it as well. I'm sorry.
No, you know what?
That's something if I knew, but
I don't know why I had 21 in my head. I have actually it down on my screen here of the multiple windows. I have 22 laps literally just staring at me.
We can just have a look at Kevin Siggy and Ross McGregor, because that gap is kind of close now.
Kevin Siggy. Well, that was my first fail for this broadcast, folks. But this is, well, at least now because there's an extra lap, we're gonna get to see Kevin Siggy and Ross McGregor possibly.
Ross McGregor was passed. Ross McGregor was passed.
Whoa.
Where did this happen? Oh, he's still ahead.
Oh!
But I think he didn't make the pass there. I think.
Let's see.
No, that was very close as well, but he didn't make the pass.
I don't want to miss Heinemann. Oh, we're not going to see it. I'm really sorry, folks, about that. But Tim Heinemann now actually going to take this race win for the second time. Tim Heinemann crossing for the 22nd lap, which is the final lap of this race. It looks like it might have been a technical issue for Kevin Siggy. There we go. There is Tim Heinemann crossing to take the win here at Adelaide as he, in undulation, drifts the car around, across the start-finish line. Capet in second. Ross McGregor getting a penultimate lap move on Kevin Siggy. I think it might have been a technical issue for Kevin Siggy, because I don't think it was I think it was a graphics glitch up for him. So that is Kevin Siggy. Very unfortunate to lose that third position. But Ruud Heesterbeek is in 5th. Adrian Holm coming home in 6th. Lars Brugman in 7th. And this
that's close as well. That's Brewster just ahead of Jacobs.
Yes, it is. Yes, they're going to cross the line here. Was there a move on those guys? Did they swap
No,
positions?
I think Brewster was ahead the whole time.
Okay, Brewster taking 8th position. A great finish for him. Thomas Jacobs in 9th. 10th place is going to be...
Rob Taplin. That's a great race on him. I didn't want to
Rob
spoil
Taplin.
it for him, because I put the commentator's curse on him a while ago. So I didn't want to mention him too often in this race, but good performance from him in 10th place.
Absolutely. So, and Pipo Rodriguez in 11th position with a lot of his car missing. What a nice finish here. Look at this.
Bryson's gone ahead of Bass.
Bryson, 12th place for Bryson, just ahead of Bass, and there is the remainder of the finishers who were a lap down. So we're going to be back. We're going to be doing it's reverse grid between 6 and 10 drivers. We'll get back to you. We'll get back to you folks with who is going to be swapped over, and we'll get back for the second race here in just a moment, and we'll have some words about, what we saw out there. So hang tight. We'll be right back.
InsideSimRacing.tv, the fastest show on the internet. Sim racing news and reviews since 2007, with new shows every week.
GamePod, the ultimate race rig for those serious about sim racing. Puts you in the driver's seat with all the controls at your fingertips. Be number one on the road, in the race, in the game. GamePod, the choice of champions.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Rob is just off for a small little break here. He'll be back shortly. But I just got confirmation. We are top 10 reverse. Rob, how exciting is that?
That's very exciting. So we've got Rob Taplin actually on the pole position.
Oh no! Oh man, I'm so pumped right now. This is going to be good. And I know it's kind of, what's the word? Let me get my words here. What I'm thinking. It's a little bit kind of evil to think about, the what could be happening out there, but this is going to create a lot of I like to call it entertainment, but as a racer it's absolute nightmare, because obviously there's a difference between first place pace and 10th place pace. However, you still have to get by clean. You can't jam, you can't put people into the wall. So we are going to see some exciting stuff happen out there. What do you think? What are you thinking, Rob, for this race that's coming up?
Oh, it's very hard to predict who's going to win this race because so much can happen.
Yes.
Well, we've got the guys that finished at the lower end of the top 10.
Yes.
They're all fast as well, but the reason why they're in the top 10 is more because of their consistency, because they didn't
Absolutely.
crash. The
Yes,
gaps
well,
to the leader, they were very big.
Of course.
So,
well, and that's just it too, right? Like what you're just saying there is we have a lot of people who are out, like us and Sal. There's a lot of fast guys that are back
yes.
in because of DNFs, and this track really causes that kind of more difficulties than any other track, because of the fact that with this many DNFs, you're not actually going to get, like us and Sal was a top 5 driver here at this track. There's a lot of guys that are top 10 that aren't there, right? So
yeah, we've seen it with Hack and Voiter as well.
Oh man, this is going to be interesting, and it could also bring some heartache. But we'll get to the calendar here for the next race that will be coming up. Is going to be at Oran Park on January 10th. So January 10th we will be live from Oran Park. So you want to be sure to be there for that. We also have, after the Christmas break and all that, we have coming up. We have Snetterton for the Virtual Super Tours, where our commentator here, Mr. Robert Wiesemuller, will be competing as well. He's currently sitting second in the championship. We were able to chat after the race there, Rob. You had some good results at the last race there. How are you feeling about that championship?
Yeah, it's looking pretty good, right?
Nice.
I've got Toby ahead of me. He's currently leading the championship, Toby Davis. And he seemed to be very fast as well in the previous round, but he made a couple of mistakes.
Oh,
I think pace-wise it's very hard to beat Toby, but it just depends on.
Just get into his
head. Well, we're teammates after all, so I
know. I do feel for Toby, because he's got that pace, but it's the composure part of it. Like, if you could just avoid making those mistakes, man, Toby would be very hard to beat in any championship. But that, nonetheless, that's for the 3 Wednesdays from now. 3 Wednesdays? I'll get it right one day. That's for Virtual Super Tours. So we're just getting the grid sorted out here. I'll pop this background back up. So if anyone's tuned in that isn't familiar with us, be sure to like us on Facebook.com/Touring Pro Series. We have our Twitter up there as well. And also subscribe on YouTube, because if you do miss a broadcast, you will get to watch it, on demand. It goes up immediately after the broadcasts. But by subscribing, you'll be notified whenever a broadcast is then uploaded as well. Also, now that we are using Twitch for our broadcasts, you can get the app, which is, I gotta say, it's fantastic. I know that the moment we go live for our broadcast, I get a message to my phone. So I know that if I wasn't commentating, wherever I am, I can watch it on my phone. It is just awesome, and technology is great, because no one should ever miss a minute of sim racing, in my opinion. I mean, the doctors recommend it. That's what my doctor told me. So we are now just moments away from this grid getting lined up. So we'll take another quick break. We're going to grab some water, because we got to get situated in for another 22 laps, not 21. So we'll be right back. Hang tight.
InsideSimRacing.tv, the fastest show on the internet. Sim racing news and reviews since 2007, with new shows every week.
GamePod, the ultimate race rig for those serious about sim racing. Puts you in the driver's seat with all the controls at your fingertips. Be number one on the road, in the race, in the game. GamePod, the choice of champions.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back. We are just in warm-up right now. No, there's a few guys on track, I believe. Yeah. Now, we will not have the timing of... I think we will. We're going to go to... D. There we go. One day I will get this timing overlay down. I can say that, but I always continue to say that. So, a few guys are out on track. So, Rob, while we're just getting things organized, so it isn't top 10, I apologize, it's top 9. I just got word from race control. It is the top 9 are going to be reversed. So Rob Taplin, unfortunately, will not be pole, Rob.
Yeah, so we put the commentator's curse in once again, I guess.
Yes, way to go, Rob. You cursed Rob. But
top 9 is still a pretty large number. I think that means that Thomas Jacobs is on pole position.
Well,
certainly a great opportunity for him.
I'm gonna just actually give me, we can actually, because we've Ryan Callan, the administrator for Touring Pro Series, has already gone ahead and done the standings for us. I'm gonna pull them up on the screen here for you. If you just give me 1 second, we have the current. I just got to refresh, so we'll go. Oh crap! I hit the wrong button. We're gonna go to refresh. So as this is loading here, the current standings are now updated. If I just got to get some refresh. Think. Go. Should resume. Apologize, guys. It just didn't get me quite to where I wanted it to be. So I'm going to pull you over. So Risto Capet still has the lead in this championship. As you can see, I'm just going to get this centered for you guys, as the drivers are still out on track for warm-up. So there is the current driver championship. Risto Capet still leading over Tim Heineman. So, as you said, as you said, Rob, he was playing it a bit safe. He wasn't pushing. Like, I can't believe how hard Heinemann was pushing at the end of that race. But that's Heinemann. That's the way he rolls. He clearly just likes to put it all down. But Risto Capet leading over Heinemann. Ross McGregor with a nice, fairly consistent finish there in that race, still sitting in third in the championship. Ruud Heesterbeek in fourth. Kevin Siggy dropping down to fifth.
I think he actually gained a position because Chris Hack was the biggest loser of this event with his problems at the start of the race.
Yeah, he's going to not be happy with that. But so our 9th place position, Thomas Jacobs will be our pole sitter for this race that's starting, followed by Cameron Brewster and Lars Brugman.
And as you can see at the moment, when you see this championship standings, there's no Thomas Jacobs in there in the top position.
Yes.
So it's a great opportunity for him.
Yes, absolutely. Thomas Jacobs is not in the not in that top 16 that you're seeing currently. Thomas Jacobs is sitting. Currently, he is sitting at tie. Well, he's sitting tied for 20th with Boyd Bryson. So, great opportunity, as you said. But this is what the enjoyment of the reverse grid is. So that is your championship standings. You know what? I will just buzz over here to give you the team standings as well too.
Walk Racing is now checking out a little bit ahead of THR Orange.
Yes,
but it's still pretty close. And Spade Racing in third place with only one car. So a good performance from them.
Absolutely. So, like, with double the races, they have double the points. So if Tim Heinemann had a teammate out there running with him, could very well be close. So anyways, this is the standings. So we will get to that after the race as well. They will be updated. We are now going to be starting a formation lap here.
There we have it. Thomas Jacobs on pole position.
Yes,
we're still on the formation lap.
Okay,
and
go ahead.
Yeah, I would just take you through the grid here with Thomas Jacobs for Cosmo Autosport on pole position. That's the first time Cosmo Autosport has been in pole position in TPS. Followed by Cameron Brewster, a good friend of Thomas Jacobs actually, driving for Simcraft Racing.
Ah, yes, Simcraft. I raced for DHR Simcraft many years ago. So that is there, and Lars Brugman.
Then we've got Lars Brugman for Ice Cold Racing in third. Fourth place goes to Adrian Holm for THR Blue. Then we've got in fifth position Ruud Heesterbeek. Sixth place is Kevin Siggy for Enterprise GP. Seventh is Ross McGregor. Eighth is Risto Capet, the championship leader. In ninth place, we've got Tim Heinemann. And in 10th place, we got Rob Taplin for Walk Racing.
Yes, who we thought was going to be pole.
Then in 11th place, we got Pipo Rodriguez, hopefully with a repaired car.
Ah, he's got his car back. It looks so much better when it's complete.
Then we've got Boyd Bryson for YTF1, Ethan Bass for SimSpeed Racing, Thomas Hinz for Walk Racing, Miguel Cardoso for GT Competizione, David Jun for THR, Florian Voite for Aurora Motorsport, Davy van der Ven for Team Down Under, Klaus Neiring for Walk Racing, Pedro Amaral for EKT Portugal, Fabio Assunção for Ghost Speed Racing, Matt Richards for SimSpeed Racing, Philip Antonia, who's actually doing his first race of this season.
Yeah, he's a long-time friend of mine. I met him when I first started sim racing many years ago. But we got to get to this now.
And Heck rounding out the field, and here we are.
Here we are. So there is the lights. We're waiting for them to go away, and we got green. Away they go. Green racing here live from Adelaide. We are just on board with Thomas Jacobs. As they come through turn one. Oh, this is close. This is Harry. Oh, and look at that, right through. Holm up to second by Cameron Brewster. This is a great shot here as you can look back on these guys. Look at this. Adrian Holm crosses over, takes the lead. Very quick move by Adrian Holm. Thomas Jacobs is under a lot of pressure at the moment. As you can look on the back of him.
Brugman on the inside.
Oh, sideways.
Sideways.
This is very intense stuff because you've got a lot of fast guys in a very tight space. This is where the excitement comes in, but also the danger.
Now this corner here.
Yes.
Can they make it all through? It looks good.
Yes, it does. It all looks good as we look back, streaming down. Look at this. Everyone going defensive. Kevin Siggy defensive on Ross McGregor. Down the inside. Heinemann on the outside of Ross McGregor. He's not going to hold that move though. Siggy going to get a bit of breathing room here. As just ahead, these guys are fairly eased out. Now this is where I think we're going to see a pass because everyone's fairly close. We're going to see some defensiveness. No, coming through here. Anyone going to dive down the inside? Inside Heinemann.
Oh, makes
No.
a bit of contact with McGregor, but McGregor has...
Oh! Who is that? Oh, who is that?
off.
McCappin is off. Championship leader is off. Let's get on board with him. He is parked back there, and there's contact again.
Antonia.
Oh, this has all gone wrong for Risto Capet. He got sideways on the curb. So let's see what happened here. Coming through the final corner.
Oh, it's a driver error.
Oh, Risto Capet, our championship leader, just is... Oh, that is the most heartbreaking thing. Lap 1, sideways, and look at this. So he's now facing the field, and the worst time for this to happen is the first lap because you lose every position. So as he gets going, Philip Antonio misses him. So he's still going undamaged, but championship leader, big effects to this championship as Holm is checking out ahead of Jacobs. Brugman in third. Cameron Brewster. So these guys have held very well. Heasterbeek is up challenging Siggy. Where is Heinemann?
He's still behind McGregor.
Still behind McGregor. So this
McGregor's
is
a
big.
tough one to overtake.
Oh my God, yeah. In the races I've commentated on, with watching McGregor race, he is very, very hard to pass. He's about a car and a half wide at all times, always. And this is really affecting Heinemann right now. So Heinemann's probably getting a little frustrated because of his pace. Look, he's a little turning in early, a little defensive, but can Heinemann get a move by? Like, this is so hard to pass up into this corner here. Heinemann in the slipstream somewhat, looking down the inside. This is a scary spot. Not going to pass there. It's just too hard. But a fantastic job from McGregor holding off Tim Heinemann. Just fantastic speed from Heinemann.
Oh,
Holm is out.
What happened there? Oh, why is that? Looks very strange.
Oh, I got to get on him. There we go. Holm.
He's got damage. He's got damage.
Oh, are we going to see this? No. Oh, unfortunately, I don't think we're going to see it, guys. Oh, he just went straight off.
Oh, that maybe looked like his game went to desktop or so.
Yes. Oh, he had a problem.
But he's got damage before.
Oh, contact in behind! More! There's more cars!
There's a Simcraft car off. That's Richards.
Oh! Richards is off. Oh, this is getting a little messy.
Did Capet make it through? Where's Capet?
Capet is out! Championship leader is out of the race!
Still going.
He's going. That looked like he doesn't have any damage.
Probably just braked.
Oh,
just
someone had said that he switched to windowed mode to avoid having more issues. But this is the replay. I don't know if we're gonna see. Oh, he got parked. He probably stalled it. Oh, look at this. So just ahead of Capet, it is a.
The road is blocked.
We have a. This is what we call a parking lot.
Oh, this reminds me of Macau.
Oh, so I know we're missing some action, but look at this. This is their championship leader with nowhere to go, and cars just jammed up. It's all gone wrong here. So let's get back on board with the leader, who we don't even know who's leading this race. It's Thomas Jacobs. Thomas Jacobs leading.
Someone's off in the background.
Asen Sao, who's off in the background?
It looked like Heasterbeek's run wide.
Heasterbeek is still there. He's in 5th. So where's Heinemann? Heinemann is got by McGregor. Heinemann is up to 6th. Asen Sao was into the pits. Now he is going to be this is going to be very hectic with lap traffic. But Thomas Jacobs leading this race ahead of Lars Brugman and Cameron Brewster and Kevin Siggy. So this is what we were talking about prior to the race. Like, it brings excitement, but it also, you know what it feels like. Can you imagine what Capet is feeling there as he comes around the corner? He's already had a bad start to the race. The sinking feeling, eh, Rob?
Yeah, I mean, there's someone parked there. He would be just disappointed with how the race went, because he had such a great pace, and now just made one single mistake, and now everything went bad for him.
And you know, it's one thing leads to another. Heinemann, fastest lap of the race at a 1:19.3. Philip Antonio into the pits. See, this is where it gets a little hairy. Like, Heinemann is in a spot where he knows Capet's out. He doesn't need to push, and we talked about his pushing at the end of the last race. But this is where he needs to be smart. He's going to gain a ton of points championship wise. He does not need to get involved in an incident and basically nullify what has happened to Capet here. And it can very easily happen with 3 cars in front of him who are they're slower pace wise. Heasterbeek, Siggy, and Brewster.
And I don't think Siggy is that much slower, actually. Siggy might have a pretty good chance here. And Siggy's right on the back of Brewster at the moment.
And you know what? I think the commentator's favorite for this race is Pipo Rodriguez, who is running an 8th.
Oh,
we see a tire.
Where's
Is that
Jacobs
Brugman?
gone? Where's Jacobs?
Thomas
No!
Jacobs is out as well. Oh no, Thomas Jacobs from the lead. So this is, there's no one there. Let's see what happened. Oh, he hit inside. No.
Just a little bit over the curve and then clips the wall and just sends it back.
There goes his clip.
What a shame.
What a shame. Thomas Jacobs and his tire as well, his front. Oh.
Yeah, that's race over for him. Has to be race over.
Oh, Thomas Jacobs out of this race. And more heartache from this reverse grid.
Brookman's leading now, but look at
Brugman.
Siggy, how close he is. He's now trying to make a move on Cameron Brewster, on the outside.
What happened to Heinemann?
Siggy! Wait, Siggy into second, Siggy into second.
Siggy into second. What? Siggy was behind. Siggy was behind him. Oh, what is happened here? We missed something.
This is
Siggy
so
was
close.
behind Heinemann. Siggy was behind Heinemann.
I think he was ahead of him. I think he was ahead of him. Just made this move here, and Heinemann now in fourth position.
Risto Capet with the fastest lap at a 19.1. So, there's too much been happening here. We have been joined in the booth by Adrian Holm, but we'll get to you in a bit here, Adrian. We're just keeping up with what's happened here. Tough luck there, Adrian, out there. But there's so much happening right now, Rob. It's hard to keep track because I thought that Siggy was behind Heinemann because we were saying that Siggy's. Oh, Cameron Brewster's around. Oh, all on his own, but he's safe. He is safe. So this is just a small mistake.
And it's such a heartbreaking mistake when you're running on a podium position.
Oh, and look at that. See what I was talking about with Heinemann. That is fantastic senses from Heinemann to get on the get on the binders. Oh, Heinemann over the curb. Oh, jeez, this is all drama. This isn't created drama. This is just something that is happening around the outside. McGregor running out of room. He's down the inside. He's gonna back up. Contact. Heinemann squeezed him.
From Heinemann there.
Heinemann squeezed him. So I think McGregor was right in giving him a little bit back there. As now McGregor's under attack from Heasterbeek. Risto Capet to an 18.9 fastest lap. So clearly no damage for Risto Capet, running at a fantastic lap there. But Siggy is on the move, catching Lars Brugman as he's wow, that is as close as you're gonna get through that corner, Kevin.
But I have
Siggy.
to give a shout out here to Lars Brugman because he's once again, just like in Sandown, he's doing a fantastic job in the reverse grid race, and he's certainly one of the guys who has a lot of pace.
Absolutely,
just hasn't really been showing.
Did Heinemann get into the wall there? Because
I think he just avoided it.
Oh, I felt like he might have got into it. Let's see, because it looked like he shot across the track a little bit. Oh,
no, I just avoided it.
I don't know if you can get any closer. Holy cow! My heart's beating really, really fast right now from this. It's one thing after another, and we're at the 8th lap here of 22, and now things have kind of settled down a little bit. We can give you a rundown. Pipo Rodriguez in 6th, Taplin in 7th, Yunt in 8th, Thomas
Hintz in 9th.
Hintz in 9th, as he's under attack from Florian Voigt. Is it both?
Florian Voigt.
Okay, Voigt. So Voigt is all over the back of Hintz here, with Miguel Cardoso right on the back of him as well. Chris Hack up to 12th from last. So a great drive from Hack, who showed great pace in qualifying, but just not had the best first race. Risto Capet is all the way up to 16th, but man, is that a distance back to charge forward to.
Meanwhile, we could maybe just have a word with Adrian Holm and just ask him what happened there.
Just trying a bit too hard to try and get a gap as quick as possible because the other guy's just so much quicker than me. So pushed up
sorry,
too hard.
Sorry, carry on, Adrian.
So through the first chicane, was a little bit wide out of it, and should have probably lifted a bit and glanced the wall. Maybe not glanced it, but gave it a bit of a hit and we got a puncture. And I didn't realize it until the braking zone, and then it was just a passenger into the wall really. And yeah, decided to retire and just enjoy the broadcast.
Well, tough luck, Adrian. That was really unfortunate to see, but definitely look forward to seeing you in the next coming round. So have a great day, and Merry Christmas as well.
Thank you. Same to you.
Take care. So that's Adrian Holm. unfortunately ending his race early here from the lead. Adelaide is such a tough track all around, as you've seen so far. But we now have things kind of settled down into where we figured they might. We have Lars Brugman leading still, with Kevin Siggy closing hand over fist, but also Heinemann closing on the back of him as well. So we will see some battles come very shortly here. I don't know how hard Brugman will battle or defend here, because we're only on the 9th lap. Obviously, he's going to defend, but is it worth possibly getting into an incident where you could just, concede a little, if you've got a good run on you, and take a podium position, keep your tires, don't put yourself in a position to damage the car. What do you think, Rob? What would you be feeling right now,
well,
if you were Brugman?
The thing is, Brugman already has a podium this season. He has no win though, and he's not in the championship either. So I think he should try it.
Yeah,
but it will be really tough, because you can already see how quick Siggy is.
Oh, Siggy's put him around! Siggy has put Lars Brugman out. That's exactly what I was
Heinemann's into the lead.
saying. Just saying Heinemann to the lead. This is exactly what I was just saying.
Let's get a replay from his car so we can see if there was actually contact made.
Okay, so
Brugman is out of the race. He quit the race.
So Brugman comes out of that corner, and this is Siggy trying to cross over, and he just gets in. He's already
just a little
loose.
bit sideways.
But
Siggy
yes,
just pushes him over.
Siggy sent him around just because he was trying to cross over. Yeah, he's already a little out of control. It's a hard thing to do there, because you're trying to make a move there. He's already a little out of control. If he didn't, he would not have gone around, I don't think, if Siggy had got into him. So I gotta say, Siggy needed to lift off there. Really unfortunate, because it ended Lars Brugman's race, and that is definitely a way of getting endorsements from the race stewards, because Brugman now, I don't think Brugman's car was destroyed. I think he just left the race of aggravation, and it's hard not to.
But I think it also cost Siggy the win himself, because he could have just waited a little bit longer,
a little more patient,
and now Heinemann could capitalize on this whole scene and taking the lead.
Yes.
And I don't think he can get it back.
Absolutely.
After what Heinemann has shown in the first race.
Well,
We've got Ross McGregor once again on the podium.
Yes, Ross McGregor sitting in 3rd, but he's got Heasterbeek really pressuring him. McGregor is no stranger, as Capet sets the fastest lap up to 14th now. But McGregor is no stranger to pressure from behind and keeping his composure. I've seen him do it in different series and different seasons. He seems to be very, very comfortable under that pressure as he comes through that fast right-hander.
And Pico Rodriguez, we just see how quick he actually is when he's got his car together.
Yeah, I mean, all he needed was his front clip in the first race. Okay, so Heasterbeek on the back of McGregor here for 3rd. Siggy is dropped 1.2 seconds back of Tim Heinemann now. So, that not only did Brugman end up, not only did Heinemann now back to fast laps here. So Siggy's mistake definitely cost him a lot of things. Will definitely cost him some points endorsement-wise, but it has left him with a gap over Heinemann.
I mean, in Siggy's defense, it was just a very, very tiny contact, and as Brugman was already sideways, he was of course going slower as well as Siggy had probably anticipated. So it's a tricky situation. All these guys are racing close, so something like this can happen, but it's very unfortunate. Because Brugman was in a great position. We were just about to see a great finish to the race, and well, now it looks like Tim Heinemann is he's doing it again. Just sitting there in the first position, driving exactly the pace that he wants to.
Where he's comfortable. So we'll go back and give a rundown through the grid here. Rob Taplin is in 6th, followed by David Yunt, very, very close to him.
I think there's a left hand between us and Sal. Certainly had some issues before.
Yes, he did. Absolutely not the event that he was looking forward to, Aston South, after showing such promise in qualifying. But again, this is where this track it comes out. It's amplified here. These kinds of things happen at any track. It can happen at any time, but at this track, it is amplified. There's a huge multiplier of the danger factor when a mistake happens. Like I said earlier on, where we're watching right now is the only real safe place to really make a mistake. So Let's go back through. So David Yunt is in 7th. Hintz is in 8th. Miguel Cardoso. Look at this battle right here. Look at this. This is some tight stuff. We got 3 drivers. Chris Hack is at the back, just behind Florian Voita. Oh, look at
Cardoso!
Cardoso goes around on his own accord there, gets into the curb. Let's get on board with him and see what happened as they come down the start-finish line. Let's see. The top on board with Miguel Cardoso headed into turn 1. I know this is a familiar place for me because I've done the same thing, but I ended up on my head. So it looks like he missed the turn in on 1. Got the curb and it just sent him around.
Yeah.
Andy Cutts got him around. Did he? A little damage to the front, but Miguel Cardoso, very unfortunate for him. But this battle rages on with Voita and Chris Hack.
Both in the top 10 now.
Yes, they are.
And I have to say, I'm really impressed by Thomas Hintz driving there in 8th position. Because he's a guy who's pretty new to sim racing. You know, he doesn't have the experience of all the guys around him. All these other guys, they are racing for years. And
Heinemann fast lap. But this Tim Heinemann is an extremely amazing driver here. Clearly, he's showing it. He's very comfortable in these cars. They suit him very well. Showed it obviously last season as well too. But to combat Tim Heinemann,
he's the week's past McGregor.
Is he? Oh, all right. Let's get on board.
Oh, still side by side.
Okay, let's leave this live for a second, and then we'll see if we can get a replay.
Ooh,
I think
right
that's cleaned out. So, I think did McGregor make a small error?
Looks like it. Yeah.
Yes, he did. Oh, that's the replay. So we're not going to quite see it. I'm really unfortunate we're not going to see that replay. But Heasterbeek has now capitalized and gone by McGregor for the 3rd position. So taking the podium
McGregor's
spot
still
away.
Close, and his car looks alright. So might not see. We might see a little bit more.
Let's see if there's any damage to his car.
There's a little bit of damage at the front bumper on both sides. There you can see it ahead of the wheel.
Oh, and there is damage to this side.
Yeah.
So there is some damage too, and a little bit to the rear. So few little bumps and bruises, but nothing major. But that side hit might have done more damage.
Oh, and
possibly
Thomas Hintz is dropping back, unfortunately. I'm sorry to say that again,
okay.
but
let's get on board with Hintz. Oh, is in the
yeah, that's
yeah. Oh, so you know what?
Ooh.
We're not going to see we're not going to get to see. Let's look back.
Doesn't look like contact from Voigt.
No, he missed his turn in. We're not going to see what happened after, I don't think, because the replay's going to run out.
Oh.
Very unfortunate for him. Great run. He had a great run going, and I think he's damaged his car a little bit. So Risto Capet is now up to 12th position, which is big for championship points.
There's another one off. Who was that? I think it was maybe Cardoso was the lap down.
Chris Hack is up to 9th from dead last. So a great drive forward from Chris Hack, recovering from his first race incident. But David Yunt he's got a nice, comfortable 7th place he's running in. Taplin, comfortable in 6th. Rodriguez, comfortable in 5th with his car complete. McGregor is falling off the back of Heasterbeek. So Rodriguez could possibly get up to 4th position if he is able to close on the back of McGregor. So we'll keep an eye on that as we're now on the 15th lap and the track is getting hot. It's 36 degrees right now. So the closest battle that I can see is this group of cars, as Chris Hack is now under attack from Cameron Brewster. Teammates here under attack.
They're not actually teammates, the cars just look remarkably similar.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Chris Hack is driving for THR Orange.
THR and Simcraft.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll get that right. But
if we should only get one GT Competizione car into the mix as well, because then we've got 3 cars that are looking almost exactly the same.
Yeah, so Chris Hack is up to 9th from last. So a great run up for him as they stream through. He's under now. It looks like that Cameron Brewster's got a bit more pace here. He's closing in on the back of Hack. Hack's probably had to use his car significantly. And where I know we're not following what's happening up front, but Tim Heinemann is pulling away. He is now 4.2 seconds clear of Kevin Siggy. Heasterbeek is closing on Siggy. And that means that McGregor is also closing as well. So I'm wondering if perhaps, I'll leave this for a second. Let's go to hop on board with Siggy. Has he made a mistake somewhere as he damaged the car? He's
Sound looks alright, so it
4.2
was
back.
probably just a small... Oh!
Little wiggle.
He's pushing hard as well.
Let's see here. Let's see what the gap is. So Heinemann did a 19.0. Siggy does a... He still keeps the gap, so he did a 19 flat as well. So Siggy is has picked up. So he maybe just made a mistake that lap, which is why Heasterbeek was able to close. But the gap is now 3.3 seconds to Heasterbeek with 5 laps to go here. So might see something. Might see something.
Jon just passed Taplin. Jon just now into 6th place.
Yes, he is. So Taplin maybe made a mistake. Taplin is. Well, we just said that Taplin was having a quiet race, so he must have made a mistake here. Taplin must have run off the track or something, or got a little squirrely at some point. Oh, very close to that wall. Yes. Bauta is in 8th. Hack 9th. Brewster has fallen off the back. Risto Capet has closed on this group. So, in theory, if he could keep this pace up, Risto Capet could get Brewster, Hack, Boita, and I don't know if there's enough time to get to Taplin and Yunt unless they battle. So Capet.
But where can he pass them? I think that's the problem. Especially Hack and Voiter. They should not be that much slower than him. So.
Yes, exactly. As you can tell, he's pushing hard to get the top on board with Capet. Capet is our championship leader after the first race. Was going into the first race of this event, but spun on the first lap of this race and went all the way to the back of the field. And then also, not only that, he got caught up in a traffic jam. There was an incident on, I think it was the second or third lap, where the track was actually blocked. So he was parked there. He suffered no damage, which is very, very lucky at this track. And he went all the way to the end of the field. He's 32 seconds back of second place in the championship standing, Tim Heinemann. But who do we lose? Rob Taplin.
We lost Taplin.
Oh, that would have happened just ahead of us, or just ahead of us. So what? So Taplin into turn 1. Oh,
a little bit unsettled.
Yeah.
Oh, that must have given him some damage.
Yeah. So Taplin got parked, and that puts Capet up to 10 now.
Van de Ven also moved up into 11th place. That's the best one we've seen from him.
Yeah, David Van de Veen as well. So everyone capitalizing on Taplin's small error there. So Yunt has a nice, comfortable pull away from this. Rodriguez is still a little ways off of the back of McGregor. McGregor's losing the back of Heasterbeek, and it's all kind of just spread out here up at the front as Heinemann is just pacing this field now. So we're going to leave these guys and get back to this battle here. Hack has fallen off here. So right now, Capet is the hardest charger on the back of Cameron Brewster.
Yeah, and it's a really good recovery from Risto Capet, because he's already in 10th place, and he won't lose that many points to Heinemann. Heinemann will be bouncing back, will be very close at least to the championship lead.
Yes.
But Capet's really limiting the damage.
Yeah, and that's what he needs to do here. Like it could have been so much worse. Like it could have ended in a full-blown DNF. Like he could have been hit, spun hit, taken on damage, had to pit when he spun in lap 1. And not to mention, like when that traffic jam happened, he could have very easily come around and gotten into it, like wrecked, like took his front clip off or something, and ended up like Pipo Rodriguez in race 1. But Brewster has tons of pressure here as Risto Capet is in the slipstream of Brewster, headed into this fast right-hander. I don't know if he's going to try it.
I think he should be better off if he's
down
just
the inside, not going to do it.
Tries to get a run for the next corner.
Yes, Brewster holding
yeah,
up
that's what he does.
Capet, great run. Brewster going defensive down to the inside. Capet looking to the outside. Hard right here. Brewster contact. Brewster's got the outside. He's going to use all the runoff area if he can. He's got the inside. Can he do it? No. He's going to have to back off. Capet still holding. Brewster goes wide. He's into the wall. He holds it, and Capet is through. Book it. So he is now into 9th position. That was some hard battling. Let's just look at the side-by-side of this. So there's a little contact there. Let's go to... Oh, sorry. On board with him. So this is on board with him. He just went a little too hot. Capet was able to hold the car down the inside and take advantage.
Brewster also lost the position to Van de Ven as a result.
That's tough. Very, very tough for Brewster as Van de Veen is now... Van de Veen's moving. Is that... Oh, that was a lap car between them. So Capet Now up to ninth position. Hack still in 8th. Vouta in 7th. Yunt in 8th. Oh, sorry, 6th. I'm going the wrong way. 5th is Rodriguez. Ross McGregor is in 4th. Heasterbeek is in 3rd. 2nd is Kevin Siggy, pushing very, very hard. And Tim Heineman, we haven't shown much of him since he got to the lead. Heineman has just gotten out front and just dominated here since he's gotten the lead through Kevin Siggy's incident with Lars Brugman, which ended his race. Siggy in 2nd, Heasterbeek in 3rd. We are starting the penultimate lap here. If you were here for the first race, I thought the race was over on the 21st, but it was really 22 laps. That is it's Keith logic, but David Yunt 6th. I think these guys have all kind of spread out a little bit, and Capet, I don't know if he's going to make any more time up. So, oh, what is that? That is Rhoda into the wall. He's into the wall.
Siggy's dropping back as well.
Siggy's dropping. Where's Siggy?
He's now in 5th, all happening at the same time.
So, okay, we're going to go with
huge damage at the front. What happened there?
I don't know. Let's go back and see what happened. Oh, it's going to be in turn 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what happened? So he came into... Oh, he missed the braking zone completely.
He's lucky that his car's still going, but that's... I'm sorry that I have to say this again.
I have to get on Florian. I got to get on Florian because we did catch that. We're going to have that replay as well. So Siggy, mistake. Florian Wouda was running and I have a great run and just came out and just destroyed the car and he DNFs. Oh, so we just in the penultimate lap we watched Siggy give away some positions. Now Ross McGregor is in 3rd, Heasterbeek up to 2nd, and People Rodriguez up to 4th. So
and I didn't understand this with Siggy. He had got such a big gap to Heasterbeek, and he was not in contention of winning this race.
No.
So why was he pushing so hard? I don't
get it. Did not need to push so hard, but Heineman obviously just now on cruise control on the final lap. We'll just do a quick run here. McGregor gets up to 3rd. Rodriguez 4th. Siggy has a puncture, apparently, from what I'm hearing. So he's going to need to...
He's just going straight on there.
Oh, he's gonna have to hold it together.
Yunt will pass him, surely.
Yunt's gonna go by. So can Capet get by him? Let's get on board with Tim Heineman to finish this. I know we'll keep an eye on the timing there. So Siggy is gonna lose more positions. That means that he could possibly fall back as far as 9th if he's got that puncture. But we'll see as it finishes off. Heineman coming through the final corners to go to complete this dominant performance here, as now Siggy's back to 7th. Well. Bendavine does it out on the final lap. Capet up to 7th. So this is Heineman coming through. We will got to give him his due. Great victory from Tim Heineman as he comes across to take a 2nd race win here at Adelaide. And this is going to be Heasterbeek with a beautiful performance in 2nd. McGregor going to be coming across for 3rd. 4th is going to be People Rodriguez. 5th, David Yunt. Just a great run from him.
There's Hack and Capet in the background. Hack and Capet.
Hack started dead last, and Capet went back to dead last on lap 1, coming back all the way up for a 6th and a 7th position. And he's almost
Siggy.
there.
Siggy with the puncture there.
Yes, Siggy in the... Wow. Siggy, unfortunately, gets into it makes a mistake on this penultimate lap, missing his braking zone at the end of the straight, and causing himself to lose, 6 positions. Very unfortunate. Brewster taking 9th after also making a mistake. Rob Taplin finishing 10th once again, so 2 top 10 finishes for Rob Taplin. And who is this? This is... I
think that's Amaral.
Pedro Amaral is going to be coming through to finish in 11th place. A very respectable finish here from Pedro.
I know Pedro has been struggling a little bit in these cars, so he'll be very pleased with an 11th place finish.
But, after all said and done, the way things were going, Heineman still finishes with an 11-second gap after all the incidents. I got a little bit lightheaded there after all that craziness in the final laps. So what we're going to do is we're going to... the drivers are just going to finish off here. We're going to take a quick break, grab something to drink, and we are going to get some driver interviews and talk to a few people. So don't go anywhere. We're going to get the interviews, get some words from the drivers, and we'll show you the current standings provisionally once this is all finished up. So hold tight. We'll be right back.
InsideSimRacing.tv, the fastest show on the internet. Sim racing news and reviews since 2007, with new shows every week.
GamePod, the ultimate race rig for those serious about sim racing. Puts you in the driver's seat with all the controls at your fingertips. Be number one on the road, in the race, in the game. GamePod, the choice of champions.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back. We are just completing we just completed the second race of this round here at Adelaide for the virtual Carrera Cup. Rob had to duck out. He just had to. He was a little late to where he needed to be. So it'll be me doing the interviews here. I'm just getting a few drivers coming into the booth. I'm still just trying to recover from the last 2 laps of that race. It was a lot to catch and try to keep up with. There was so many things that happened. I just have to try to keep my mental notes ready for when I speak to some of these drivers. So we have the live standings. I'm going to just pull them up for you here. Just if you want to hold tight for 1 second. This was a very challenging race nonetheless. The second race is always a little more difficult, but Risto Capet went into this round at Adelaide with the championship lead, and he is going to leave with it as well, provisionally, obviously. The current standings are Capet with 195, Tim Heineman with 189, Ross McGregor with 181, and it's amazing. Ross McGregor, just consistent performances is something that he's just famous for, and he's put them together here and is just right there in that championship battle. Heasterbeek is in 4th, Kevin Siggy in 5th, Chris Hackens 6th, Adrian Holmes 7th, Lars Brugman in 8th, Cameron Brewster in 9th, and 10th is Pipo Rodriguez. So we have a few drivers here in the booth with us. First off, I want to talk with Tim Heineman. Obviously, a dominant performance today. 2 race wins and just about as good as it can get. Tim, race 1, you qualified second. You got the lead right off the bat and never looked back. I had speculated, and you can correct me if I'm wrong in this. Did you purposely qualify second?
No, I was trying to get pole, but yeah, Risto was just faster than me. But yeah, I had really much luck with my start. It was really, really nice.
Yes.
And yeah, no wheel spin, and yeah, then I was on P1, and yeah, then I won race 1.
Well, it was incredible to watch. I've never had the pleasure of commentating on a race where you've raced, and actually not in this series. Why there was a point, 3rd or 4th last lap, I think it was, where you were literally, it looked like you hit the wall. It was that close. And then following that lap, you set the fast lap of the race. May I ask why push so hard at the end of the race?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, racing, you're always pushing yourself. But I mean, you had such a gap, and I obviously you're comfortable at that edge, and I commented on that. But I mean, you were just like inches away from just total destruction.
Yeah, that's right. But yeah, when I'm not pushing myself to the hardest what I can do, then I make mistakes, and
really? Okay.
Yeah, it's a bit hard when you are in the lead and have 5 seconds gap to the second, or I don't know.
Yes.
And then I'm just pushing and just trying to don't make mistakes.
Well, clearly you're more comfortable there, and if you know you make mistakes when you're not pushing, then stay where you're comfortable with, because you dominated race 1. Now, race 2 obviously a little more tricky with the reverse grid. You were very. It looked to me like you were a little not tentative, but cautious mid part of the race. I think when Capet had went around, I had noted and said that it looked like you were being a little more cautious to avoid, and you'd have to think about trying to avoid a potential wreck in front, because it would nullify the fact that Capet was behind you. When the incident happened with Siggy in Lars Brugman, what was going through your head? Because it happened right in front of you.
I don't know. I think, just trying to get on P1, and there was a little gap between Eric and the wall, and I could go through, and then I was on P1, and just trying to get away from Eric.
Yes.
And then the race was really nice for me.
Well, you now have 5 race wins out of a possible 8. Obviously, you're trying to just make up for, just some tough results. But you've definitely done that here today. I mean, you can't really ask for much more. But I look forward to seeing you in the rest of this championship, Tim. Now, just one more question. What are your thoughts? How do you feel the battle is gonna progress as the championship runs on with Risto Capet and the likes of Ross McGregor? Because at the moment they're the other 2 that can challenge for this title with the points as they are.
The season is long, so anything can happen.
Yes.
And just look at the last race. My 1 minute freeze, and then the really bad second race. So the season is long.
Well, congratulations today, Tim. Well done. It was nice to finally talk to you in an interview, and best of luck in the coming races, and also Merry Christmas as well.
Thank you. You too.
Okay. So I also have Chris Hack here. The reason I want to talk with him is he had a fantastic run coming back through the field. He qualified right up there, but just I didn't catch what had happened in race 1, and started the second race dead last. So, Chris, what happened in race 1?
I think I just got a tiny little stutter as I went to brake for turn 1, and I probably still should have made it, but I got distracted and missed my braking point, and I thought, those tyres weren't too bad in practice, it'll be okay. Yeah, it wasn't. I took off.
Well,
how was that?
Well, race 2, obviously starting last is never fun, especially at a track like Adelaide. Obviously you made best of all the incidents that happened and stayed out of things. How do you feel your race went, race 2?
I don't think I could have hoped for anywhere near where I got, so well chuffed with that. I sort of went in with I'm just going to play it safe and see what happens. I wasn't really pushing at all. I got quite lucky that I managed to avoid the incidents, and suddenly I was looking at the top 10, and then a few more people fell off, and I was in 6th, 7th, I can't remember.
Yeah, it was amazing. Like at the last 2 laps, I actually am still I got a little bit lightheaded, because it was overload. What was happening? It was like one thing here, one thing there, and it's unfortunate to see people drop at the end of a race, because you never want to see a guy go out like that. But for you're probably just like, okay, thank you.
Sort of, yeah. Probably, if any of them had been any closer, I think I would have probably been running away to get changed by now. Would have needed some new pants.
Right on. Well, definitely a good result in definitely well done in second race. But hopefully some good fortunes in the upcoming races. So well done today, and good and Merry Christmas as well. Now David Yunt, you had 2 good finishes. I mean, you quietly just did well. Sorry, 1 second here. I'm just pulling up. So you got in race 2 with all the incidents that happened. Or am I looking at the right results here? Yes, you got a 5th place in race 2 after a lot of things were happening. Race 1 wasn't quite as good. So, talk us through what happened in race 1.
Well, my usual thing of not practicing that much, and busy yesterday and all the week, and then I don't know what did I qualifying? I think P23 or something.
Yeah.
Had a headache, and I thought like starting at the back is at Adelaide maybe even a better idea to stay out of the first trouble and just look what happens. And yeah, so I saw a lot of crashing. I felt some bumps around me. I think Lee Palmer pumped me, and I think I rubbed him into the wall, even though I don't want to, but I couldn't even see him.
Yes.
And so slowly I made my way up to the top, or near the top 10, and then I got behind Rob Taplin. I thought, like, yeah, could go battle for P10. It was close, but I couldn't get him on the straights. Then I went to the left-hander. My back stepped out a bit. I tapped the barrier, and I had a flat at the right rear side. So I was even contemplating, should I just press escape? But I thought maybe most people also disconnected, crashed. So I put the car back to the pits, and I got P16 out of it, which is, yeah, always better than not just giving up, just finishing the race.
Absolutely.
And that got me 5 points, I think.
Well, now the other thing was so race 2, you had a fairly fairly quiet race, it looked like, because the gaps were open for a bit, but you were taking advantage of a lot of things that just happened around you. You must have been happy with a 5th place finish.
Absolutely, because before the whole weekend, I wouldn't even have thought to be around top 10. So of course Adelaide is always a very special track with just tapping one of the tire stacks a bit too much and you're off or around. And so I just took my kind of passive approach, because I think I wasn't really pushing too hard at the first chicane. And so I somehow got up to P5 until the end of the race, and that was more than I could ask for, because I think this is even the first one of the season, and yeah, I take those points gladly.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, it definitely at a track like this, to come home with a top 5 finish it's something you can just put in your pocket and be happy with it. But well done today, David, and Merry Christmas to you.
Thanks. Same to you, Keith.
All right, on. Now I have Ross McGregor. I'm going to get a final word with him. Ross, you just again, I call you the silent assassin, because it's just you quiet. And I know it's kind of an odd name. However, you just quietly get results and are always there in a championship. Like, you were just 14 points back of Risto Capet. We're 8 races into this series. You've got a race win. You took a podium in race 1 and a podium in race 2. Just, like you the pace, like I'm just looking at your fast laps. You're not doing the fastest laps compared to Heinemann and Capet, but you're there. You're always in that fray. And in any series I commentate or watch that you're in. So well done for that. But talk us through your first race 1 and race 2.
Both can be summed up by one word: survival. Race 1 was just kind of quiet, and I think a couple of guys went off. I didn't really overtake anyone, so it was just a case of being consistent and keeping away from the walls. And race 2 was that definitely was survival, because there was cars left, right and centre in the first couple of laps. Tried my best to hang on to Tim and pick up some positions, and again a couple of guys went off.
Yes.
And unfortunately I hit the wall at one point, which let Rude by, and I just couldn't catch him after that.
Well, I mean, again, like I always, if you ever listen to me commentate when you were up, I do say the same thing. It's quiet, consistent results, and you know what? That's what's needed in a long championship to get a good result in the overall championship. But 2 top 3 finishes, you've done what you needed to do at a race where, as you said, survival is the word that comes to mind when you think of Adelaide. So well done today, and Merry Christmas to you. We'll see you in the new year.
Cheers. Same to you.
I just have one more driver. Just wanted to catch a word with a driver I'm not familiar with, Thomas Hinz. Finishing in the 12th position in race 1 and in race 2, and I think it was in race race 1 was 14th, race 2 was 12th. So now, Thomas, Robert Wiesemuller is a little more familiar with drivers, and he had mentioned that you're fairly new to TPS with you were showing great racecraft amongst guys who are like, the Capets and Siggies, and I was very impressed. You did have a mistake in race 2. What happened in race 2?
Yeah, well, that was, I'll just say that was the hardest I've defended ever. That was ridiculous. I was just defending like a man possessed the entire first half. Like, my God, it was so hard. But yeah, but I defended and then just, I think 2 laps in a row, went a bit too deep into the fast right-hander and just went a bit wide, and then came back on, and Florian just gave me a little tap. I mean, he had nowhere to go. He just, nothing he could do. Gave me a little tap and round I went. So, just the way it is, but still points. So points in both races, which is more than I was expecting. So I'm pretty happy, to be honest, for 2 top 15s.
Yeah, well, I mean, and definitely to show promise at a race like Adelaide, which is one of the toughest tracks probably in this calendar and just in general, where survival is what it's all about, as Ross McGregor said. But also, you are racing in the wee hours of the morning. What are you? What time is it there? I know when in Adelaide when we started, it was around like 5:30 a.m.
Yeah, it was 5 a.m. my time for the start. It's pretty much 7 now, so yeah, early start. I was up about 4 to get everything prepared and just have a little bit of a pre-practice. So yeah, it's hard. It's really hard work, but it's a lot of fun. So
yeah, it's dedication, and we do appreciate, especially when people put themselves in that position, because it's Sunday morning there. So it's not easy, but definitely showed some promise out there, and look forward to seeing you. Maybe getting some luck and getting some good results in future races. So well done, and Merry Christmas to you, Thomas.
Thank you, Keith. Thank you very much. Same to you.
All right. Well, that is it for the driver interviews, everybody. Up on the board right now, you can see our overall calendars for both VCC and for the virtual Super Tours. We have a Christmas break, New Year's break that is coming up. So there will be a bit of a delay, and I'm so sorry to everybody that we can't provide content for you over that holiday. If you do find yourself having, getting a little bit, having withdrawals and the sweats and the chills, because you're not getting any sim racing, just go to our YouTube page. You can watch back. I don't even know how many hours actually. I would actually like it if someone who is a fan could possibly give us a number of how many hours of sim racing broadcasts we have posted, because it's actually a ridiculous amount. But YouTube.com/Touring Pro Series. Facebook.com/Touring Pro Series. Like us, subscribe, share everything. The bigger the community gets, the more we can put out there. So again, thank you to everybody for tuning in. And the next broadcast will be the virtual Super Tours in 3 Wednesdays from now. And that is from Snetterton. So I will be calling that action live. And it's been very exciting so far this season. So you don't want to miss a moment of it. So thanks again, everybody, and we will see you in the new year.